Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a massive, seismic shift happening right now in 2026. We're unpacking the global transition from lithium to sodium-ion batteries, and we're going to look closely at how this is completely redrawing the map of global power and technology.
First off, I just want to thank you so much for dedicating your valuable time to join us today. The landscape of electric vehicles and global energy is changing incredibly fast. So our core philosophy for this explainer is simple. We want to encourage you to always read, research, and truly inform yourself before making any big decision. Whether that's figuring out which electric car to buy or simply navigating the complexities of life in general, information is absolutely your best tool. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the new democratic electricity, then the Chinese strategy, followed by India's rise as the factory of the world. After that, we'll look at Europe's Lifeboat, the new Europe-India Pact, and finally, why staying informed matters so much. Let's dive in. Starting with part 1, the new democratic electricity and the paradigm shift from lithium to sodium. We are essentially moving away from an old standard of energy storage to a totally revolutionary, yet incredibly common, new way to store power. And this really gets to the heart of the conflict. Think about lithium for a second. It's often called white oil. It's rare, it's highly contested, and it relies heavily on conflict metals like cobalt and nickel. But then you have sodium. We call this democratic electricity because it's derived from something you probably have sitting on your kitchen counter right now, common table salt. It's cheap, it's abundant everywhere on Earth, and it uses absolutely zero conflict metals. Which brings us to part 2, the Chinese strategy for dominating the sodium revolution. Now, if sodium is literally everywhere, you gotta wonder why China, the reigning, undisputed champion of the lithium market, is aggressively pouring billions into the sodium race. Well, the crucial point here is national security. See, even though China holds a near monopoly on refining lithium, they actually have to import about 70% of their raw lithium from places like Australia and Chile. In a world of increasing geopolitical tension, that's a pretty glaring vulnerability. By pivoting to sodium, which they have an endless supply domestically, China achieves total independence from those critical raw material imports. Take the giant Chinese battery manufacturer CATL, for example. They are using sodium as a literal insurance policy. They're actively converting roughly 35% of their total production to sodium by 2027. Why? Because if the price of lithium suddenly spikes, they can simply flip a switch, flood the market with sodium batteries, and force global lithium prices right back down. It is a masterclass in market diversification. But it's not just about playing defense. It's about global dominance. By mass-producing sodium batteries, China's strategic goal is to flood developing markets in India, Africa, and Southeast Asia. We are talking about fully electric cars priced incredibly low, hitting the market between 8,000 and 10,000 euros. At that price point, they simply wipe out local and Western competition. But the rest of the world isn't just sitting back. Welcome to part 3, India, the factory of the world and the aggressive outsiders' rise. They aren't just watching this happen. They are actively building a massive supply chain to rival Beijing. And the engineering contrast between these two superpowers is fascinating. Lithium batteries famously struggle in freezing temperatures, right? So Chinese automakers like Chang'an optimized their sodium batteries to conquer Arctic climates, keeping 90% capacity even at minus 30 degrees Celsius. On the flip side, India's KPIT Technologies saw a totally different problem. In the global south, lithium batteries suffer from extreme heat and run a real risk of catching fire. So India engineered their sodium batteries for intrinsic thermal stability. They are built to safely survive scorching temperatures. Looking at India's current 2026 roadmap, the sheer speed is just incredible. They've already successfully completed their R&D with over 500 patents. They have active pilot production hubs up and running in Pune and Gujarat, and they are already commercializing this tech, rolling out sodium-powered electric scooters for their massive domestic market, with their sights firmly set on exporting to all of Southeast Asia and Africa. So how are they catching up so fast? The major turning point was when the Indian titan Reliance Industries acquired the British sodium pioneer Ferdion. They're building a 100% integrated giga-complex, targeting unheard-of prices. We're talking under $60 per kilowatt-hour. Combine that with unbeatable labor costs, massive government subsidies, and a hyper-focus on cheap, heavy batteries perfect for the millions of scooters and e-rickshaws that are the backbone of their transport, and you have a perfect recipe for the new factory of the world. So, with China dominating the low-cost market and India rapidly accelerating as a manufacturing powerhouse, it begs a really vital question for those of us watching from the West. Will Europe finally achieve true energy autonomy?
Let's dig into that in part 4, Europe's lifeboat. For Europe, sodium isn't just another battery chemistry, it's being viewed as a literal lifeboat for energy sovereignty. But here is the striking paradox. Europe desperately wants to build this lifeboat. They have the salt, they have the chemical industry, but the economics are tough. In China, building a sodium battery plant costs roughly $50 to $60 million per gigawatt hour. In Europe, thanks to heavy bureaucracy, strict environmental regulations, and sky-high energy costs, that exact same factory costs over $120 million.
Despite those massive financial hurdles, though, European champions are innovating fiercely. Take the French company Tiamat Energy. They have developed high-power sodium batteries specifically designed for urban hybrids and electric cars that can charge in an absolutely incredible 5 minutes. 5 minutes! So, the crucial takeaway for Europe's landscape is this. Sodium offers a sovereign, local supply chain pushed forward by innovators like Sweden's Altris and France's Tiamat. But there's a catch. Sodium has a lower energy density than lithium, meaning it's heavier. Therefore, in Europe, sodium will strictly power our city cars and urban delivery vans. For those luxury 700-kilometer long-range cruisers, we'll still be relying on lithium for the foreseeable future.
Now, to overcome those massive factory cost disadvantages while still securing their supply chains, Europe executed a brilliant maneuver. This is part 5, the Europe-India Pact, the historic 2026 alliance. Let's break down how this works in real time. In January 2026, the EU and India signed a historic free trade agreement, essentially eliminating tariffs on tech components. The EU injected €200 million specifically for joint research. The result? European academic excellence and patents are now seamlessly combining with India's massive manufacturing muscle, like Reliance's 40 gigawatt-hour factory. This alliance immediately slashes mixed supply battery pack costs by 15 to 20%. And this isn't just abstract economics. Thanks to this EU-India alliance effectively bypassing Chinese monopolies, you're going to see the real-world impact right in your driveway. By late 2026 and early 2027, fully capable electric city cars, powered by this joint sodium technology, will be hitting European streets for under €18,000. As we wrap up this global tour, we arrive at part 6, Inform Yourself Before Choosing. I really want to bring all of this geopolitical chess directly back to you, the viewer, and the choices you face every day. We've seen today how decisions made in boardrooms in Beijing, Delhi, and Brussels directly dictate the technology that ends up in your life. Your greatest asset in navigating this isn't a bigger budget, it's being an informed decision maker. Again, I want to extend a huge thank you for the time you've dedicated to us today. We highly encourage you to always read, research, and truly inform yourself before making any major decision, whether that's navigating the electric car market or just navigating life in general. We appreciate every single one of you who dedicate time to learn with us. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. As cheap, everyday table salt disrupts the absolute monopoly of white oil, which of these global superpowers will ultimately control your democratic electricity? Keep researching, keep asking questions, and we'll see you in the next explainer.